I'm honored to introduce Kelsang Tabkay, a Buddhist monk and resident teacher for the Kelsang Buddhist community here in Arizona.
Okay, hello everyone. Nice to see you. So my name is Kelsang Tabkay. I'm a Buddhist monk and a teacher here at Kelsang Meditation Center, Phoenix. And I was just asked to say a few words about unity from a Buddhist perspective. And as many people have been mentioning, I think all we need to do is read the news, talk with people, and we see this is a time where many people are suffering, many people are in pain. The dangers of our world seem to be increasing exponentially. Dangers of violence, oppression, and on and on and on. So in some ways there couldn't be a more important time or a potential for a pivotal moment in our world. There could be no more important time for transformation to bring unity and togetherness. So I deeply appreciate being invited to talk with this group. I deeply appreciate everyone coming together to show our interest in unity and coming together. And I wanted to share a few words from my teacher, whose name is Kelsang Tabkay, a Tibetan Buddhist monk, who has, I think, some very relevant observations of our world and also solutions, whether religious, non-religious, that are helpful in bringing peace into ourselves and bringing unity and peace into our worlds. I'm just going to share a little bit from this book called How to Transform Your Life. In it, he says, in recent years, our knowledge of modern technology has increased considerably. And as a result, we have witnessed remarkable material progress. But there has not been a corresponding increase in human happiness. There is no less suffering in the world today, and there are no fewer problems. Indeed, it might be said that there are now more problems and greater dangers than ever before. This shows that the cause of happiness and the solution to our problems do not lie in knowledge of material things. So we live in a world, in a society in which material development is of paramount importance, where we are hurtling forwards in exponential material development, where soon trips to Mars will be commonplace, where our technologies that we have are becoming increasingly powerful, our weaponry is becoming increasingly powerful. And all of this technology, all this weaponry is increasingly being wielded in the hands of those with very uncontrolled states of mind. Because we're obsessed with outer development and we're ignoring inner development of our mind, of our consciousness, of our inner qualities, of compassion, of acceptance, of empathy and love. Because we're ignoring these inner qualities and we're obsessed with outer development, we find ourselves in the situation that we're in a precarious world with powerful technologies wielded in the hands of those with uncontrolled states of mind, creating increasing complication, dizziness, and danger. So later in this book, Geshe Kelsang gives some encouragement for us to begin to develop a realistic view of the world based on an understanding of the equality and interdependence of all living beings. This is a realistic view of the world that most of the time we do not live within in our everyday experience. We normally do not live in a world where it seems as though each and every living being is equal and interdependent. We seem isolated, separate from one another, different from one another. So I wanted to briefly touch on these 2 points, which I think are very important and practical ones for not only our own inner peace, but also harmony and unity between us. And in particular, what I wanted to share and what my prayer is for everybody listening is that we develop some wish to take something that may touch your heart from this short reflection, to put it into practice, because what I'm sharing is spiritual wisdom, information, which is precious, is very precious. But spiritual information does not have the power to solve our problems. Spiritual knowledge does not have the power to change us, to change our world. It's spiritual experience that has this power. Spiritual experience has the power to change us. It has the power to transform our world. So these understandings, meditations, we can say, if we sincerely put them into practice, we can easily solve the problems of our world. We can easily solve them by putting spiritual teachings into practice, by changing our mind, by training our mind in a realistic view of the world based on an understanding of the equality and interdependence of all living beings. And this point about equality, what we need to understand is that when we look at others and feel no point of commonality with certain people, we view others as the enemy. In Buddhism, we say our enemies do not have arms or legs. Our enemies are inner in nature. They are our own hatred, our own ignorance, our own anger, and so forth. These are the real enemies that we have. When we look at others, the sense in which we are equal is in the deepest and most important one. It is in the sense that there is no difference between self and other, and that we each want to be happy, and we each wish to be free from suffering. In this sense, there is no difference between self and other, with all the different superficial differences, backgrounds, and so forth. In this sense, we call this our common wish in Buddhism, the wish to be happy and the wish to be free from suffering. This is a wish that's shared equally with each and every living being. And one person's wish to be happy and free from suffering is no more important than anyone else's wish. This is not often how we operate in the world, however. This is not often how we operate in the world. The sense of our importance seems more than, greater than other, which is why we need to take this understanding deeply into our heart through our own contemplation, our own meditation, our own putting into practice of this view, living in accordance with this truth, the equality of all living beings. It's also true that we exist not in independence, but in interdependence with each other. And this understanding is a very profound, practical, and helpful understanding to contemplate and to remember. And I wanted to share some words. This is from a contemplation, a meditation on recognizing the kindness of others. It helps us to understand that no person exists in isolation. So these are very beautiful words. I just wanted to share briefly with you. Our body, for example, is a result of the kindness not only of our parents, but of countless beings who provided it with food, shelter, and so forth. It is because we have this present body with human faculties that we're able to enjoy all the pleasures and opportunities of human life. Even simple pleasures such as going for a walk or watching a beautiful sunset can be seen as a result of the kindness of innumerable living beings. Our skills and abilities all come from the kindness of others. We had to be taught how to eat, how to walk, how to talk, and how to read and write. Even the language we speak is not our own invention, but the product of many generations. All the facilities we take for granted, such as houses, cars, roads, shops, hospitals, and the internet, are produced through others' kindness. When we travel by bus or car, we take the roads for granted, but many people work very hard to build them and make them safe for us to use. In short, we need others for our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Without others, we are nothing. Our sense that we are an island, an independent, self-sufficient individual, bears no relation to reality. It is closer to the truth to picture ourselves as a cell in the vast body of life, distinct yet intimately bound up with all living beings. We cannot exist without others, and they in turn are affected by everything we do. The idea that it is possible to secure our own welfare while neglecting that of others, or even at the expense of others, is completely unrealistic. So what I'd like to do, just to close this reflection, is to guide a very short dedication, which is like a brief prayer or meditation. That maybe there's something from this teaching on this understanding of the equality and interdependence of all living beings you wish to take as a reflection, as a practice to bring into your own life, to benefit yourself, to benefit all the people that you're surrounded with, that we are connected with. And like a pebble thrown into our pond, we can make a prayer that all of our words, thoughts, and actions are in accordance with this understanding of the truth of the equality and interdependence of all living beings, that our actions be of great benefit and peace to others and to our world. So we can just take a brief moment mentally to dedicate our activities in being here and listening. In particular, if something moves our heart in this teaching on the understanding of the equality and interdependence of all living beings, we can dedicate. This understanding comes to pervade our mind and life. We mentally dedicate for our own and others' happiness and inner peace towards freedom from conflict, war, oppression, violence, ignorance. Let compassion and loving kindness pervade our heart and the hearts of all living beings. And we can arise from this brief dedication now. Thank you.